Hey guys, welcome back. Today I've got my final review for the SoundPEATS Q29s. So here they are. Very nice. For the most part, I really enjoyed these. They've been really great for listening, driving, and talking with the Bluetooth. The charge time is perfect. It takes about an hour for it to charge up completely. I'm getting about 45 minutes to 50 minutes before it's completely charged. And that's really good for how little these devices are. So keep that in mind, that it will charge within an hour. Another great thing that I liked was this case is actually a charging case. So when you're out and about and your headset die, this, as long as you had it plugged in and it was charged 100%, you got the white indicator light back here. You just pop these bad boys in, and then they go to this white color, and that means they're charging. So this is a charging dock that you can utilize when you're out and about if you don't have electricity or a port to plug your device in. And you should be able to get 3 charges, or about 6 hours, 7 hours out of this without having to plug it in. That's a good benefit, but also a bummer that you have to charge it that many times. Number one is I get an hour and 50 minutes of playtime. Now that's pretty good for Bluetooth, and there's no real battery on these, so you can't really expect anything more than that. I normally fall back to my Q800s and listen to those while the Q29s charge back up. So I mean, I'm running with Bluetooth pretty much all day, listening to my music while I'm working. The second problem that I didn't like was the way that the audio would cut out. I think with it being a 4.1 and I was using it on a 4.0 device, it should just fall back to that Bluetooth version 4.0 to 4.0 and actually run better that way, and not just use 4.1. I think that was my main concern, is that they weren't connecting properly. So if there was the ability to have a rollback feature that they store all the Bluetooth devices up to the current version and they can roll back to whatever device it's connected to and utilize it that way, I think it'd be more beneficial to the consumer to be able to have that connectivity for the Bluetooth. Another problem I did have was when I first got the devices, I assumed that they were fully charged or semi-charged, so they'd last probably half the time that it was saying, half of 150 minutes. When I first got them, I tried using them, and they didn't seem to want to work at all. So once I got them charged up, they said, or the lights indicated that they were charged. I used them, and they lasted half the time that was stated, and I was really concerned with this. So I had to actually look at the device, and I noticed that on the copper piece here, so that copper piece right there, I noticed that there was still some plastic on there, and these come with a little square around the copper pieces, and apparently the adhesive was so strong it stuck inside on the copper piece. So I had to get a toothpick to clear the copper piece on both of my headsets. So be aware that you may need to clean off them 100% in order to get the full charge. Alright, so next let's talk about the Bluetooth. This comes with Bluetooth 4.1. I had a few issues with my Bluetooth connecting to it. With my Samsung J36, it comes standard with Bluetooth 4.0. So this being 4.1, it lagged a little bit with my phone lagged a little bit with the connectivity of the device itself, so it made the listening quality and sometimes the connectability very terrible. There was times where I'd be listening, and if my phone was in my pocket and I bent over or something, my left channel would kind of cut out a lot, and I'd lose signal, and as I stood back up, the signal would come right back. So I think there's just a few little nicks like that that kind of knock this down for me. Lightweight magnet charging. Well, you have to push the PEATS down firmly into the crate so that it starts charging. The magnet doesn't pull it down, so you have to be aware of that. You have to push it down in pretty firmly. I think this is a very useless piece of hardware that was within the box. They could have put something more into it than a little 3-inch cable. I found myself just falling back and using my Android device cable to charge it up. One downside I did find, when a phone call comes in, it just repeats out loud a phone number. So it doesn't read your contact list or anything like that to tell you, hey, your wife is calling, or your dad is calling, or the angry guy next door is calling. It just repeats out a phone number, so you really don't know who's calling unless you pick your phone up and look at it, and then you could decide to pick up the phone or not. So I did find that a bummer. I wish they would have incorporated that into the programming for the device. It would have made it more user-friendly for people that don't always have to have their phone in their hand while they're working on something or whatnot. Let's talk about a couple tips we can use for these devices to listen to music and to answer phone calls. So first, let's talk about music. Music was the first thing and the only thing I really use these for. So that's my thing, is at work I kind of listen to music all day while I'm troubleshooting and working on computers. These really came in handy because they were truly wireless and they sounded really great. And it also offered the benefit of no wires, so I didn't have an issue with them falling into like a computer or something when I was working on one. What you're going to want to do is open up any media player on your phone or device that you're going to be using, and once it's loaded, all you have to do is, when the SoundPEATS are connected to the device, on your right channel, which is your home channel, which you always have to have in, you need to click once, and that's the play and pause button. How simple is that? If you ever want to skip a song, you double click the home button and you skip the song, but there's no skipping back. So hopefully you really want to skip the song. So that's pretty much all I could find when I was playing with them to get the device to work with a media player. So just use those tips for that. For answering phone calls, it's the same thing as if you're wanting to play or pause your music. You just click once on your right channel, your home device, and you should be able to answer the phone. To use Siri or Google Assistant, what you have to do is you have to hold down your right channel for approximately 3 to 5 seconds. You hear the beep, you use your voice command, either Siri or Google Assistant, whatever one you use, and then wait a second and it should prompt you that it did recognize your voice, and then you can continue with what you want to ask it. Okay, Google, what's today's weather? Overall, I give this a 4 out of 5. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. The SoundPEATS Q29s, they're on sale on Amazon.com for $59.99. So you can go pick yours up. I put a link in the description. They are available now, so get them while supplies last. They were out of stock for a while. About 3 weeks ago, they were out of stock. So if you want to go pick some up, there's a link in the description. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. There's going to be a lot more great content on the way, so be on the lookout. And I want to say thanks to all my subscribers right now, and thank you all for supporting me in my channel. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, guys.